one thing I can tell you for sure, if today you're in a place where you don't feel like you have the security, the protection that you need, and you're predominantly single, you don't have a partner, you don't really have any set of friends, you don't really have family who's close to you, around you, and even if they're far or close, you don't feel the protection, and you normally think that people would see you as somebody who is easy to target, you are somebody who is weak, you're someone who is lonely and stuff like that. But if you are anything like me, you can say for a fact that when God has your back, when God has his hands on you, and if you don't believe in God per se, but you believe in a higher power of light, I'm talking to you all too, so you know there is a higher power of light, Father God. For some of us who believe in God, we know that if we are innocent, if we don't have any bad karma on us, if we don't carry guilt on us, if we are somebody, you give it to God. You know that if something's not for you, it's not for you, and you will be shown who is not for you and what is not for you. And I am predominantly talking about people, especially strangers, new people, old people that you have in your life, you used to have in your life, and relationships that's over in your life. Predominantly, it got over. Why? Because God had hands on you. And God always showed you people's karma. And yes, if it's not always that God shows you their karma, some of us have been in places where somebody who came at us with a malicious intent instantly caught something, instantly had losses in front of you. I had an example of a woman who came with malicious intent and was actually a fucking op. Today, I realized I thought was a fucking friend is a fucking friend of me, and I was out there pouring my fucking heart out to her when I know that she ain't shit. And she had a fucking reaction to something and she went to emergency. Whoever the fuck she is, wherever the fuck she is, I don't care. But I know she had my name in her mouth sideways. So at the end of the day, when I see people go through karma like that instantly, because I know I never had any malicious intent towards anybody. And if you are that, you know that when people cross you, something goes down in their life almost instantly, and you already know that you are not doing anything, you're not even manifesting anything bad for them. And bear in mind, I'm not talking to people who are skeptic, who don't believe in God, karma, laws of the universe, okay? I'm talking to people who believe in God or in some kind of spiritual being of light. And if you believe that, you normally believe in karma, you normally believe in a natural cycle of life, the highs and the lows of life. And people like you and I, to reach this level where we are so nonchalant, we are so okay with giving up control, are normally people who have anxiety issues in the past, are normally people who've been rejected in the past. At least if you were anything like me, I suffered with major fucking anxiety issues. And those people who saw that anxiety today are capitalizing on my name. But they don't see the level up because they never leveled up. And like you, people never see the level up that you've been through. People never see the work that you've done on yourself. People don't see the hand that you have on your head, and that's God's. Because we live in a society where it's very easy for people to believe the bad. It's very easy for people to believe the tea. It's very easy for people to believe everything that is of negative. So you can do 10 good things, but you do one bad thing, and people remember that one bad thing, and they'll easily forget the 10 good things, because that's what works in the society. That's what goes, that's what flows. And when you and I come around people like that, we tend to show them the mirror. And how do we show them the mirror? We show them the mirror energetically. If we are not doing it intentionally, it's just your being, it's just how you live, it's just how you move. So therefore you don't have friends, and therefore you don't have people who are confidant, because at the end of the day, people get threatened when you show them what they don't want to see. And you don't show them anything intentionally because you're not that type of person. You don't have the time to invest time on other people, places, objects. That's not how you're raised. And even if you were raised by people who were always about other people, you in that family came out to be different. So let's talk about people who are not about that. But people who are about that are always about you. But now in hindsight, I think that all the tears that I must have cried over lost relationships with people, places, things, and objects who are strangers today because they don't have no place in my life. I don't keep snakes in my life. Once I see it, you're out, you're done. But it used to make me feel so bad about, like, am I the bad person? Why am I always getting the shittiest people in my life. Like, they just are shitty people. And I see it after years and years of atrocities that was done in the dark. And I call them best friends. I call them lovers. I call them confidants, whatever the fuck. And if you are in that place today, you now finally see, had God not shown you the snake that you are sleeping with every night, you're being friends with, you're being family members with, whatever, or you're sharing any kind of a two-way relationship that's important to you, even if it hurts. Now when we look back and think, had we had them in our life, would we grow? Would we do the things that we're supposed to do? Would we find our purpose? Because I believe, at least I, because been through it, and I'm sure I'm talking with those type of people, when God makes you lose everything in your life, especially people. If you're one of the people who actually value people, but you always had bad friends, family, and you were somebody who always wanted to be in love, you always wanted to be a husband, you always wanted to be a wife, you always wanted to have an amazing group of friends, you always wanted to do this, and you always wanted a community. But your lesson in this life was, not everybody who pleases you on face value, who everybody is nice to you, everybody who is kind to you on face value because you carry a good heart and you approach relationships with a pure, childlike innocence. These people are not that. And never is that energy reciprocated to you. And today you and I look back and we really see the type of friends that we allowed in our life, the type of lovers that we allowed in our life, especially the treatment that they gave us, the treatment that we saw that friend treat her best friend, her lover, his best friend, his lover. And now when you look back, you're like, how were we even friends with that creep, with that low-class bitch, a woman or a man? Sorry, I don't respect them because they have the audacity to talk about you and I. At the end of the day, let's not waste time on these non-factors. But when God finally shows us the truth about these people, now when we look back, we actually think we didn't fuck. And even when the relationship ended, God normally shows you the truth about relationships. And I'm talking about people who do not have any karmic debts. I'm talking about godly people. Okay, good people. So when God has his hands on you, especially, you are God's favorite. It's not just you and I. It's not just the chosen ones, because that's a fad these days. Okay, anyways, every Tom, Dick, Harry wants to be chosen. Anyways, what I'm saying is, when God favors you because you're just a good person, and sometimes, people don't have to go to the temple and pray day in, day out. It's just you talking to God. And God sees your heart and your pureness. However stoic you may be outside inside, or you may not be the most sweetest, kindest person, but you don't wrong people because you come from intentions, you come from a genuine heart, and those are the people I'm talking to. So God will never have any demonic child, any demonic spirit of a man or a woman in a friend's body, in your lover's body, in a stranger's body attack you. They will attack you to a level where you have to learn that life lesson, because you have to grow, because you have a purpose. Because through that purpose, you will make this world a better place in whatever capacity that may be. But when people like this think that they can control your destiny, and the problem is when these people start playing God in your life. So these people can do their dirt with other type of people who are on the same level, and they can balance out each other's karma accordingly, because they're each other's karmic connections as friends, lovers, family. But when somebody like them crosses you and I, when we were actually in their life, to just love them, to just be a positive light in their life. But what happens when you're too positive? What happens when you're too secure in your own self? And when you're not, these people take advantage of it. And when you finally find yourself, because these people take advantage of it, because these people betray you the way they do, you have a setback, you have an awakening, and you cancel these people out. And when you cancel these people out, when people have you hit rock bottom, you get close to God. You don't detest God. And that's one major difference between these people and us. And they say, why she, why him, why not I? Is because when God puts us to fucking rock bottom, he still has his hand on us. He's trying to teach us something, right? But at the end of the day, he will always show us the snakes in our life. And what we do with that is on us. Either we can go the karmic way and become one of those people, or either we can go God's way. And we in times of hardships for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we are not the one who start hating God and start bad-mouthing God, going the devil's way, praising the devil, selling our soul just because we are going through hardships. We instead see the truth that is being shown to us about people in our life, and instead of hating on that, instead of seeing it as a betrayal, we cut those people out and we build a relationship with God. When you start building a relationship with God for real, life gets harder, not sweeter. Before it gets sweeter, it gets harder. People don't see that struggle because you carry your struggle that well. Because one big difference between you and these type of people is you struggle, you keep your head down, and you know what you gotta do because you are resilient. You know what you want from this life, and you know that you are somebody who's always had your back. The world has always crossed you. So who are these Tom, Dick, Harrys who come in and out of your life? Want to talk on you? And your level up is an insult to them because they don't want to level up? Fuck these hoes. And at the end of the day, God will show you that the reason why you are not developing is because you're attached to these type of people. So the enemy is actually in your camp. But the enemy is a stranger, some delusional delulu. When God's got your back, He's also going to test you. And how is He going to test you? By firstly showing you the truth. So today, if you are somebody who advocates the truth, you firstly have embodied that truth about yourself. And that's the hardest thing to do. Because nobody of us are perfect. Every one of us at some point in our life have been karmic. But God saw your heart. You've put in situations, you've put yourself in places where you probably were karmic or were involved with karmics. And today, you have hit rock bottom and you finally built a relationship with God. And when you start building that relationship, you lost everything that was not meant for you, which was of the karmic world. And that's 99% of your money, finances, love, career, everything. So those are the people I'm talking to. So you know what it is walking alone. The world saw you struggle, but nobody said a word. Some people saw you struggle and further hit you down. And these are the people that you ate with, partied with, slept with, and repeat. And you know what the funniest thing is about these people? While they compare you and your relationship with God, and they just are normally like, oh my God, I wouldn't do that to her. What are you saying? I wouldn't do that to him. What are you saying? We don't have the time. These are normally the people who do that. These are normally people who act all holier than thou. Like, I would never are the ones in doing shit in the dark. And one thing for real, at least if you're anything like me, when you're friends with these people, when you used to be, you exactly know what this bitch is capable of, what this dude is capable of. You know their truth because you used to be a friend. So you've seen the side of them. So when you become a frenemy in their lens, because when you cut them off, they become strangers to you. So they can live, they can die, you don't care. If they collapse in front of you, you probably take them to the hospital, but you won't check if they're dead or alive. And you're that type of person. When they're done, you're out. But these people think you're a frenemy. But the worst is, they take you being nonchalant about their presence or their absence as a personal attack. But they don't understand that you have noticed them. You've seen what a trifling friend this woman is, this man is towards their own people when you were a part of the circle. So that time their target was somebody else. So they are not loyal to their own people. So you always knew if you were to chuck them out, they will come at you. And they are. So today if they think, why she's always 10 steps ahead of us, why is he always 10 steps ahead of us? Firstly, it's God. Okay? And God will always tell you and me. And the worst is, He will show you. For me, it was many such examples, not just that going to emergency. Many have fumbled on their words. Karma has just hit them in front of my eyes, and I'm like, okay, I see it now. And I always had that inkling. But if you and I have that power, and if you deny that noise, God will constantly, God will burst your bubble till you see and stop denying the truth. Because this is a devil's playground, like I said, and some of us just carry a spirit that do not have karmic debts. But if you are that spirit, you will come across spirits like this all throughout your adolescence, teenage years, grown-up-see, grown-up-see, till your old fucking age, till you don't learn that lesson that you don't mingle with anybody and everybody. You don't have to be nice to everybody and anybody. You better speak your truth. You better not bite your tongue, because at the end of the day, God wants you to show off God. The higher power wants you to show off higher power. And if you have that favor on you, because you are pure, simple, innocent soul, nobody gives a fuck what's on the outside, from your brands to your fucking race to your fucking body shape. Nobody gives a shit. At the end of the day, what heart do you carry? What are your intentions? These people can call us whatever the fuck they want to call us when they are going through karma. But I say that life is a natural ebb and flow, right? We went through karma because it was a lesson for us, because we believed these people. And now justice is being done because they did injustice towards somebody who they could bully, so to say. Till we found our power, and now we're bullying the fucking bullies. So now they want to play the victim. But what they're going through is actual fucking justice for us. So if you have God's hands on you, and if I have God's hands on me, which I'm sure I do, I just want to thank God. And I just want to thank God on your behalf. And I just pray for protection. Because at the end of the day, God will always show us. God has always shown us. And it has cost us a lot of tears, heartbreaks, betrayals, broken heart. But we finally see, had we not seen that, where would we be today? We would still be bums like them. So at the end of the day, I just want to close off by saying, for people who finally see the importance of having that godly relationship, having that relationship with a higher power, where we don't have to constantly go on our knees and beg and pray and do, rituals all the fucking time. And people normally can call us, for me, I've been called a witch all my life because karma and God plays on my behalf. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to, mix potions and period blood like these women do, and men do, these Jezebels do. We don't have to do that. We just have to pray about it, and we just have to pray God do justice. And if we deserve something that we deserve, we take it, but we learn from it. These people play victim and they attack back, and so their karma keeps on going. So let them suffocate. It's not a fucking concern in their own fucking karma, but we need to run the fuck away. And if you and I have run away from those people, we are over here finding our tribe. And while we find our tribe, we are still exploring ourselves. We are still exploring our purpose. And we are more about our purpose and what we want to do in our life and who we now want to invite in our life. So once you must have held hands with these people. But at the end of the day, these people chose to choose where they're at. You chose to elevate for your own self. At the end of the day, there was never no fucking beef. It was all about you and for yourself. Because people don't know the fuck you are. People meet you in and out in your different phases of life and they think they fucking own you. The fuck? Anyways, cloud chasers.